Good morning, students. Today we are continuing the chapter number 5, Introduction to M-Commerce. In previous video we have seen introduction of M-Commerce, benefits, applications, limitations and uses of M-Commerce. Apart from that, we have seen introduction to L-Commerce, that is location based services. Now in this video we will see security issues in e-commerce and M-Commerce. Now after this part, all the things will be common for e-commerce and M-Commerce. Okay, so let's start. Security issues in e-commerce and M-Commerce. Internet provides a good opportunity to the business, but along with the convenience also comes new risks. The valuable data or information that travels on the internet may be misused, stolen or corrupt. For example, while making online purchase on e-commerce website, customer needs to provide the credit card number and personal details. This information is transmitted to the merchant server. The merchant server sends it to the issuing bank for authorization through payment gateway. All these transactions occurs on a public network, that is on a internet. An unauthorized user may read the credit card number during the transmission and misuse it later on. An intruder can steal or tamper the information anywhere in the world while sitting on his computer. He can create a new password and run them on a remote computer, causing it to malfunction or break down in worst cases while hiding his or her identity. Now the topic is what kind of security issues comes while we are having a transaction over e-commerce or M-Commerce websites. Now the basic example it is given: while we are making online payment, our credit card details may be stolen and that can be misused. So for that reasons, what security measures we can take, that is given in this topic. E-commerce or M-Commerce sites have to keep their online data such as customers' personal detail, their bank details and many more safe. They have to be aware of all the frauds that are taking place nowadays. As e-commerce deals with the payments such as online banking, electronic transactions using debit cards, credit cards and many other, the e-commerce or M-Commerce websites have more security issues. They are at more risk of being targeted than other normal websites. Thus, it becomes very important to secure the data on internet. E-commerce or M-Commerce security aspects. The e-commerce or M-Commerce security must meet 4 important aspects. Now, while making a transaction of customers and the merchant, the e-commerce website security must have 4 important aspects. Now, this is the elaborated figure of security aspects. From here, we are studying only 4 aspects, that is confidentiality, integrity, authentication and non-repudiation. Okay, availability and auditability is not covered here. First, confidentiality. It refers to the secrecy of information so that unauthorized user cannot read it. It is achieved by using cryptography, in which all the messages transmitted are encrypted and only the receiver can read it after decrypting the message using appropriate key. This protects the data from private attacks and ensures that the message is not revealed or leaked to anyone as it travels to the destination. It helps in protecting the confidential data like credit card number. Now what confidentiality says? It says that when a sender is sending the data, it must receive the intended receiver only. In between, the data is encrypted, means it is converted into unreadable format by certain cryptographic key and it is received at the receiver side and decrypted into the normal text or normal message. Okay, this is confidentiality. Next is integrity. It ensures that the information must not be accidentally or maliciously altered or tampered in transit. The receiver should receive the same message as was sent by the sender. If the message is altered in between the transition, it should be detected. This removes the problem of modifying the order quantity in between and later creating the payment problem. Now, integrity says that whatever the message sent by the sender, exactly the same message should be received by the receiver. Okay, now if in between the message is altered or tampered, then receiver and sender both should be notified. Okay, now for integrity we are having many different techniques which ensures that the data sent by the sender is exactly received by the receiver. For example, we are having different techniques like parity bit check, LRC, VRC, CRC. These are the techniques to confirm whatever the data is sent by the sender is exactly received at the receiving side. Okay. Authorization. It ensures that only authentic users are allowed to use the system. The login and password is one of the way to achieve authentication. Okay. Next is non-repudiation. Non-repudiation, it ensures that the sender of the message cannot deny that he or she has sent the message. It prevents the sender or receiver from denying a transmitted message when in fact they did send it. What non-repudiation says? It says that when sender sends the data to the receiver, he or she cannot deny whatever the message is sent by the sender. Internet security threats. The most common threats that are faced on internet are: first, malicious code. Malicious code is one that causes damage to a computer or a system. Malicious code can either activate itself or be like a virus requiring a user to perform an action, such as clicking on something or opening an email attachment. It can also affect a network and send messages. Now, what are malicious code? All the damage causing programs which are entered into our system are malicious code, like viruses, worms, Trojan horses, and many other macro programs. Now, if we talk about viruses, there are many kind of viruses like macro virus, then email virus, then boot sector virus. Okay, these are the different types. Next is worms. Now, what are worms? Worms are not a virus. They are not damaging the computer or a system, but they replicate itself in such a way that all our memory is consumed by the worms only. Okay, you may have seen folders into our system like new folder, new folder, new folder, or data 0, data 1, data 2, data 3. That are automatically created. So that are not virus, that are actually a worm. Okay, then comes a Trojan horse, which are more damaging than the viruses and worms. Okay, they can harm our computer system, even damage our hardware programs also. Okay, so these are malicious codes. Now, sniffing. What is sniffing? A sniffer is a program that uses internet to record information that passes through a computer or a router in a transit from sender to receiver. Using a sniffer program is like tapping a telephone wire and recording the conversation. Sniffer programs can read email messages, user login, password, and credit card numbers. Okay, now sniffing or a sniffer programs are intentionally created programs which are sent over internet to intended victim, they sit over the router's root of victim's computer system or victim's network system and simply recording all the transactions of the victim computers, and that all transactions are sent to their sender. Denial of service attack. A denial of service attack is an attack used to shut down a machine or a network, making it inaccessible to its intended users. By targeting the user's computer and its network connection, or the sites which the user tries to access, an attacker may be able to prevent the user from accessing email, websites, and online accounts like banking or other services that rely on the affected computer. The users are flooded with hundreds and thousands of messages that create traffic problem on the network. Now, denial of service attack is an attack on a computer or a system or a network, we can say, for making it inaccessible for their user. It may be a single user which is blocked to access any other site, or it may be a kind of system which is blocked for their users for certain time periods. Fine. Cyber vandalism. Cyber vandalism is the electronic defacing of an existing website page. An attacker replaces the website's original content with his or her own content. It is an example of integrity violation. It is an electronic equivalent of destroying properties or placing graffiti on someone's photograph. Today, there are so many cases of cyber vandalism where the business content is replaced by offensive material. Now here what happens? The attacker replaces the original content of the website with the offensive material. Okay, so this is a kind of crime they are doing. Spoofing. Spoofing or masquerading is pretending to be someone you are not, or representing a website as authentic when it is actually a fake. It is a technique where the attacker tries to assume the identity of another person or a system for transacting with victim site. For example, an attacker can create a fake website as www.gswan.co.in and substitute the IP address for the real website IP address. All the users visiting to the real website then be directed to the fake website. Security measures. To prevent the various security threats, many security measures are taken. Let us discuss some of them. First is antivirus software, firewall, digital certificates, cryptography, and SSL. SSL is a secure socket layer. Now let us see one by one. Antivirus software. It is a computer program that detects, prevents, and takes action to remove the malicious codes like viruses, worms, and Trojan horses from the infected system. To protect your computer, you need a good antivirus software. A system without antivirus software can easily be targeted by malicious code within a short span of time on internet. The problems and damage that are caused by the infection can be extremely varied. As I explained, what kind of infection, what kind of malicious code are entered into the system. Based on that, the damages are observed. Like if worms entered into the system, then it will not damage the system, it will simply consume the memory. If viruses are entered into the system, then what kind of virus is entered, based on that we may have the effect on our computer system. Like if a macro virus is entered, then we may have the problem with our documents. If email virus is entered, then we may have the problem with our email account. If a boot sector virus is entered into our system, then we may have a booting problems, right? And at the same time, if Trojan horses are entered into the system, damages may be varied. It may harm our hard disk, it may harm our printer drivers, scanner drivers, and many other systems. Okay. Once a system is infected by a virus, it will spread by attacking to other programs and files within the system. That is explained now. Viruses not only replicates itself within a system, but it can also spread to other systems by taking control of users' email and sending out copies of itself to those in the user's contact list. That is the email virus. The most common way a system is attacked is through infected attachments of email. To prevent harm to the system, the antivirus software scans the downloaded files and the entire computer system in order to detect the presence of an infection. Antivirus software is critical to be installed and kept updated regularly on the computer. These are the example of antivirus software. There are many other antivirus softwares available in a market. Okay. Next is firewall. Companies having their own website have to control the access of network services both inside and outside the company network. The most commonly used network protection barrier between the company's network and the outside world is a firewall. Firewall is basically a device that is a computer or a router placed between the network and the internet to monitor and control the traffic between the company's local network and outside world. The primary goal of a firewall is to keep the intruders away from the company's e-commerce infrastructure. It ensures that the company's crucial data is kept safe and not accessed by the intruders. Now, firewall is the basic setting of our protection. It is most significantly used over the network of companies where we can control the transmission of data from the company's network to the internet, or the data coming from internet to the company's local network. This is basically restricted from the firewall of their company. Okay, let's move. Firewall structure. So this is the basic structure of firewall. Here this is the company's network, and here it is an internet. WAN is an internet. Now it is working like a barrier between the transmission of data from LAN to WAN and WAN to LAN. A firewall protects the local network against the following: email services that sometimes create a problem, undesirable materials like photos, videos entering into the local network that I had explained. Many of the things are restricted through firewall. Unauthorized person gaining access to the local network. Unauthorized data or information leaving the company's network. Blocks the traffic from outside world to the local network. Protects from any type of network attack. Okay. Next is digital certificates. Digital certificates or digital ID are used for providing our identity in electronic transaction. With the digital certificate, we can assure that the business organization's online services are authentic. Digital certificate is issued by the trusted third party, that is TTP, to establish the identity of the holder. The third party who issues the certificate is known as certification authority. Digital certificates contains the holder's name, a serial number, expiration date, a copy of certificate holder's public key, which is used for encrypting messages and digital signature, and the digital signature of certification authority. Now you can assume that it is a certificate which we may have seen into the various grocery shops or various retail shops. They have hanged that certificate on the wall, showing their business name, business type, and all these things. Digital certificate is very similar to that. It is issued by trusted third party and it provides authenticity to the business. Now this is how a digital certificate is given. Now here you can see here identity information and public key of Mario Rossi, name Mario Rossi, and all this certificate is given. Public key of Mario Rossi. Certification authority verifies the identity and encrypts with the private key. And this is how the digital certificate is signed and given to the company. Now this certificate is visible to the public and this certificate is available to the actual holder. Okay. Next is a cryptography. Cryptography is an art of protecting the information by transforming it into an unreadable form. Here we transform the plain message into unreadable format known as ciphertext. To transform plain text into ciphertext, we use encryption algorithm. A secret key is used to encrypt and decrypt the message. It does not hide the text but converts it into unreadable form. The messages are encrypted just before they are sent on the internet or network. When the encrypted message is received by the receiver, it needs to be decrypted. Decryption is the reverse process of encryption. It is the transformation of encrypted text back into the normal text. There are a number of encryption algorithms available in the market today. Okay, so here you can see a basic method of cryptography. Here you can see the plain message which is readable and non-encrypted. Okay, this plain message is encrypted through encryption algorithm at the time of sending, and it is converted into ciphertext. It is converted into ciphertext. A plain message encrypted and becomes a ciphertext. Now this ciphertext will travel onto the network. At the receiving side, this ciphertext is received. Then the reverse process of encryption, that is a decryption, takes place and receiver is receiving the plain message. Next is SSL, that is Secure Socket Layer. SSL protocol is used for securing web transaction on the internet. It was developed by Netscape. During the e-commerce transaction, all the information is exchanged in secured manner using SSL by encrypting all the messages. It also provides the authentication of the merchant or shopper using digital certificate so that customer knows that they are communicating with the valid owner. Now this SSL is a protocol which provides double security, means it also provides the security of a digital certificate. Also it is providing the security of encryption displayed on the login screen of secured site. On clicking, you will get the owner information and validity of the certificate. This indicates that the communication with this site is secured and the owner of website is valid, who is certified by the authority like VeriSign. The other indication of the security is that whenever the connection is made to the secured site, its address starts from HTTPS rather than HTTP. Okay, so SSL is one kind of protocol which provides digital certificate. Along with that, it also provides cryptography and also the authentication. Okay, so that's all for today. Remaining part in next video. Thank you.